Welcome to Team MH. I am Professor Sabina Sheikh. In my last two videos, we have understood what is linear communication, we have understood what is interactive communication, and now we're going to learn what is transactional communication. Let's do a small recap talking about models of communication. So, students, it's a simple and systematic representation of the communication process, ideas, thoughts, or concepts, which helps us to understand how communication can be carried out. Now, talking about a small recap of three models of communication. One is your linear communication, other is your interactive communication, and third one, last, is the transactional communication. Going to a quick recap, in linear communication, it's a one-way communication process. Interactive communication, it's a two-way communication process. Now, talking about transactional communication, we'll just study further. So, students, in transactional communication, there are few new things. Okay, as the name indicates, it's transactional communication. That indicates that there is a transaction going on. Now, as compared to the previous video, in linear communication, there was sender, there was receiver, but there was no feedback. In interactive communication, there was sender, there was receiver, and there was a feedback. Now, in transactional communication, the receiver was sending a feedback to the sender. Now, here come a little twist. In transactional communication, it is the sender and receiver both on the front end, and receiver and sender on the other hand. Okay, and the main catch over here is the feedback. Now, feedback is from the sender and receiver both. Okay, for example, A has sent a parcel. A over here has sent a parcel to B. Okay, A has sent a parcel to B. For example, A has sent a Rakhi to B. Now, B has received this Rakhi. Alright, now B has said thank you for the Rakhi, and after saying thank you, what B did is B also sent few chocolates to A. Now, A has received the chocolates. Now, A has again sent a feedback to B stating that the chocolate was very, very nice. So, what you have understood over here is there is a feedback, there is a transaction going on. Now, this example was a very personal example, talking about the professional example. For example, there is a notice which is given by sender, that is Mr. A, to the employee who is Mr. B. Now, upon receiving the notice, what B did is B have replied to the notice. To whom? To Mr. A. Whatever is the feedback of the notice, he has given to Mr. A. And upon receiving the feedback of that notice, Mr. A again has given his decision on that letter. This is again a feedback. So, you all understood, that means there is a transaction going on between A and between B. Okay, they are not stopping anywhere, but they are continuing their transaction. So, this is called transactional communication. I hope all the three topics, all the three models are clear with you. If you have got any doubts, students, you can write to me on the chat box. Apart from this, let's study the few features of transactional communication. Features of transactional communication are: there is a sender and the receiver. Sender and receiver interchange their respective roles. That means sometimes sender is sending the message, sometimes receiver is initiating the message, and so on. Feedback is simultaneous. That means there is a feedback from both the ends, and there is a presence of noise. Okay, so in all the three models, one thing that you all must have noticed is that noise is present everywhere. Okay, and there is a sender and the receiver in all the three models of communication. Thank you so much, friends, for listening to my lecture, and stay tuned for the next lectures. Thank you so much.